Hi, everyone, and welcome to Care and Kind Live. I'm your host, Chris Doucette. Now, this episode of Care and Kind Live is actually not live. It is pre-recorded. So if you have any questions or comments about the episode you're about to watch, then please leave a comment in the Facebook, under the Facebook video or under the YouTube video, and I will be sure to see it and I will reply to it. Okay, so thank you very much. This episode of Care and Kind Live is featuring a new service called ExtendaTouch. And with me is my friend and guest, Andy Cramer, the CEO and founder of this new free caregiving service for caregivers called ExtendaTouch. So let's get started. Andy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Chris. It's great to be here.
I'm so happy to see you here. Now, you and I have never met in person, right? We have been a full virtual relationship all this time, right?
For quite a while.
Yeah. It's been really interesting to watch ExtendaTouch kind of evolve over time, especially throughout this quarantine. So why don't you first start by introducing ExtendaTouch? What is it and what does it do?
ExtendaTouch is it's a free technology-driven service platform that enables fast and private and personal, anonymous opt-in connections between caregivers, so that caregivers can discuss sensitive topics, including their own self-care, without any fear of stigma. We also feature direct links to local nonprofits in the 31 subjects that we cover. And by the end of March, we will have covered 250 cities in the United States.
Wow.
Allowing caregivers to avoid lengthy Google searches.
Wow. Now you just threw out a lot of information. So
I understand.
If you had like 10 seconds to explain ExtendaTouch, what's really the elemental purpose and point of ExtendaTouch?
Connecting people personally.
Yeah.
And then sending them to the local organizations that can give them real help.
Perfect.
On an ongoing basis.
And that makes a lot of sense, right? Connecting caregivers. And it's not just Alzheimer's and dementia. Is that correct?
No. We take the full range all the way from autism to addiction to dementia to caregiving strategies. Mm-hmm. And we are adding new subjects all the time as people are asking for them.
Great. And, I think that I've seen one of your videos, so it might be a good time to show one of your videos, right? That kind of gives that introduction to ExtendaTouch, right?
I'd be happy to do that.
So why don't we do that? Why don't you share your screen there and play one of your videos that does the kind of first look at ExtendaTouch, so that it really helps people see and visualize and imagine what it is that ExtendaTouch does. And this
great idea.
To the viewers there, the video is about a minute long, I think. So
it's pretty short.
It's pretty short, but it's super cute, and I was so happy to see it. So I can't wait for you to share it to the world. So go ahead and hit play. And
caregiving usually begins with unexpected events, and new caregivers are shocked to find how unprepared, uninformed, and unequipped they are. Millions of family caregivers attend doctor visits, assist during health crises, manage households, and perform so many more actions for their care recipients daily. They're often in a precarious position, distracted by conflicting responsibilities of caregiving, work, and their own families. Long-term caregivers often experience isolation, anxiety, and burnout at an astounding rate. We created ExtendaTouch as a free community of people just like you, because we have been in the same situations without enough support. We use a unique matching system to connect you with others who can answer your questions and mutually share lessons learned, insights, and support. ExtendaTouch is private, secure, and anonymous, with direct links to national and local organizations, so you don't have to spend valuable time doing extensive research. Together, we can help each other provide better and more confident care and support.
Super. That was super cute. I love the animation there. It's super cool.
Thank you, Chris.
So, and it seems like the heart of that is connecting caregivers, right? So it's not,
Exactly.
talk about that. Talk about the decision to connect caregivers versus first as the primary connection versus only focusing on connecting caregivers to professionals in the field, whatever that field might be, whether it's Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or anything else?
Sure, there's an awful lot of services that do that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we have about 55 million unpaid family caregivers in this country, and about another 5 million paid caregivers who are professionals. And they have the most tremendous amount of information locked up. They go to doctor's visits. They're there when their care recipient has an emergency. They are taking care of all of the various things that a care recipient needs. And so what we realized is that we had a tremendous amount of information locked up in all of these caregivers. And so our object is to bring them together so they can share their knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
can get information they might not have had before,
Mm-hmm.
compare it with other people, bring it to their physicians to make better decisions,
Mm-hmm.
and have somebody personally to support them, even if it's just a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
So, 20 years ago, we started another service. It was almost like this,
Mm-hmm.
but with a much smaller audience. In the 1990s, 1993, we started a company called Gay.net
Mm-hmm.
because we found out the gay people across the country were isolated, they were lonely,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't feel like they were real people. Well, we brought 4 million people together in a few years. They were
Wow.
talking over 5 million a month, 5 million hours a month to each other.
Wow.
And the fact is we understood how strong that bond was,
Mm-hmm.
because if you can find one person to support you in life,
Mm-hmm.
you've got an advocate.
Mm-hmm.
And from there you can move on. But personal connections are incredibly important.
Yeah.
And that's why we did that, because it's missing from the ecosystem right now.
Right.
So if I said to you, we're opening up another dating service, you'd understand what this is.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't really a social network. This is a way to bring people together.
Mm-hmm.
And then during the time that they have a need.
Right.
And then the next time they have a need, they can come back again.
Yeah. Well, we always say at Care and Kind that no caregiver can do it all, and no caregiver can do it
Right.
alone. And that's why it's so important to have a network of support, whether it's family or friends or any kind of,
Exactly.
the more support you have, the larger your network, and then the better it is for you and the person you're caring for. So you think ExtendaTouch can be another source of support for caregivers?
We have a global vision here.
Mm-hmm.
We know that people are not talking to each other. We know many people are left out because of their station in life or just a lack of information.
Mm-hmm.
There are a tremendous amount of local organizations that are helping a lot, but they're not covering all 55 million caregivers who are taking care of more than one person. They might be working, taking care of somebody, and taking care of their family. So our job is to bring the people together. Europe is aging faster than the United States. China had a one-child policy, and probably in 10 or 15 years, there's going to be one poor guy who's taking care of 2 parents and 4 grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
And traditionally, people who live in South and Central America, they don't put older people in nursing homes, but they don't have all the information.
Mm-hmm.
So our job is to combine this all and get a central repository so people can have private conversations with each other. And I want to stress the privacy piece because, I think during COVID, we've all been traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there's going to be an awful lot of people that are going to go in for self-care. And since they're not identified by name, and they can go in, they can be themselves, they can be somebody else. But the question really boils down to one thing. Can I reach out to one person, or can one person reach out to me? And can we support each other?
Great. Yeah, that's great. So you've done your research. You've done your homework.
Yeah. For a long time, Chris, for a long time. During COVID, it was difficult. We had some major corporations that were going to send people to us. Studies show that 60% of the people who work are caregivers. Mm-hmm. But when COVID hit, the corporations went dark, obviously trying to reorganize themselves.
Mhm.
They'll be back.
Yeah.
We spent the last year working with community organizations. Caring Kind is number one on my list. You've
Uh-huh.
helped us so much. Thank you very, very much. And so we've made some tremendous relationships with large community organizations and smaller ones too that we are going to be bringing on board. And so this month we're going to start onboarding people into ExtendaTouch. Would you like to see a few of the opening slides?
Absolutely. Let's check it out.
I'll share with you one more time. Hold on one second. So when you go to ExtendaTouch, there are 4 slides to start with that explain what it's all about. And you can always join using Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, if you don't want to remember your password or your username, or you can put your email address in. If you put your email address in, it's encrypted, it's put on a separate server, and it's never revealed to anybody else. So this is free online support. There is a video here that talks about that. The next slide tells you about the fact that we cover many different subjects. You can use ExtendaTouch on a cell phone, or you can use it on a laptop or a desktop. We're digging deep into COVID as everybody else is, and we have a tremendous amount of blog articles and discussions about that. This is an example of a woman who was caring for her mom. So this would be a private conversation, and it would be explaining that she cared for her mom for many years, and she can reach out and she can give help to many people because she understands the slippery slope it's on.
Right.
And this slide here, oops, there's you first. This slide here are the different partners we have.
Yeah.
That are actually working with us right now.
Great.
But if I can go back to yours for just 1 minute and show you, anybody that comes to the site can click on your link and go immediately to Caring Kind.
Wonderful.
So we're about sharing
that.
information. We're about sharing information, which we think is the most important thing.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And you have a personal stake in this, right? I mean, this didn't just come out of nowhere. Talk about how and why this caregiving issue matters to you.
Well, I'm 72 years old. I've taken care of my grandmother who had stomach cancer, my sister who had breast cancer that metastasized, my father who had pancreatic cancer, and my mother who most recently had Alzheimer's. And while I was working on gay.net and gay.com, I had 10 stores in 3 states. They were retail stores. And we served thousands and thousands of people who had HIV in San Francisco. I never got back home until 9 or 10 o'clock at night because I was visiting friends who for 15 years were really dying more than anything else. And I learned how to be an advocate. And my housekeeper, 21 years, got Parkinson's, and we took care of her. And my husband, Al, and I took care of her for the last 20 years of her life. So when my mom had Alzheimer's, I realized that there wasn't much information out there. My sister took me, and she was the primary caregiver, took me to the Alzheimer's group in South Texas, and there were only 6 people sitting at a table. And there was a population of 1.5 million people in the area.
Wow.
So I knew there were an awful lot of people left out who really needed to get more information. And my mom said before she went into late stage Alzheimer's, she said, we're just warehoused. She said, there's nobody 90 years old in any of these boards. And so I said, Mom, we're going to do something new. And we started ExtendaTouch so we could reach out and help more people.
So you really do have skin in the game here when it comes to caregiving support.
I am totally bought in.
Yeah.
We have 2 other companies, and it would be easy just to use those 2 other companies and continue.
Yep.
But I believe that I believe so strongly and so passionately in ExtendaTouch
Hmm.
that I'm starting a new company at an age when most people wouldn't.
Right.
Unfortunately, I've got a lot of scars from past ones,
Oh
so
man.
I understand. I understand what it's about.
Right. Right. It sounds like you're a serial entrepreneur, right? So you know what it's like to start, even if it's no matter what the nature of the business is, it's hard to get anything off the ground. So yeah,
Absolutely, and it's even harder during COVID. But
yeah.
if you think about it, we have probably about 2 million more caregivers now who are family caregivers
Hmm.
than we did last year, and they're taking care of people who have COVID.
Yeah.
And so there's never been a better time for people to get together
Right.
and help each other out. I should mention that we believe that all different ages are caregivers, and that's certainly been borne out over the last year.
Hmm.
And we brought aboard 70 interns from
Wow.
8 different universities and colleges to
Wow.
help us do market research, to
Hmm.
help us do expansion research, do press releases,
Hmm.
and to bring universities aboard and to bring younger people aboard.
Fantastic.
We're reaching out everywhere.
Yeah. If someone's watching this and they're interested in supporting working with you at Extended Touch, how do they get in touch or intern or anything like that?
There's a few ways they can do that. They can go on the site, and on the site there's an area that says help desk.
Okay.
And if they click on help desk and they mention it, it'll be the easiest way. It will come directly to us.
Hmm.
They can email me at andy@extendatouch.com.
Okay. And that
And
just so the listeners and watchers know, if you click on the more information box underneath your Facebook video or YouTube video, there will be links to all of these things, Extended Touch and Andy's email as well.
would you like to see what the inside of Extended Touch looks like after somebody registers?
Yes, absolutely. So let's take a look at what people would actually see when they register at Extended Touch and then start looking around. Um,
My pleasure.
yeah, everybody likes to see how it actually works and
So
what it actually
so
looks like.
yes. So we have a number of things. Each category, so this category is Alzheimer's.
Hmm.
Each category features a video that people can watch, which
Alzheimer's.
is
Hmm.
educational.
Okay.
Features an area where they can read about it.
Okay.
And then we have areas where people can update their profile. They'll be prompted to do this first when they first sign in. So they can give help, they can get help, or they can ask a question.
Hmm.
After they do that, they can go through the feed. Now, this feed allows you to look at the people who say they can give help, the people who say they need help,
Hmm.
or the people who ask questions.
Hmm.
And everything on this is opt-in. So when you ask somebody if you can connect with them, and this is my profile. I
Hmm.
actually wrote it about my mom.
Okay.
If you're looking for resources, there are national resources
Hmm.
which go right directly into that national resource.
Hmm.
I'm not going to do that right now. Um, I'm sorry. I'm glad this is casual.
Ah,
now,
no.
what we did on the local resources is we used geolocating
Hmm.
within 60 miles of your location.
Hmm.
So I live in Sausalito, which is across the bay from San Francisco.
Hmm.
And within 60 miles is the Alzheimer's Association,
Hmm.
the Brain Support Network, the Institute on Aging. And again, I can go directly in there and get in touch with them right away.
Terrific.
So this saves a tremendous amount of time.
Yeah.
And caregivers, when they need help right away.
Right.
The other thing we have is we have a blog, and our blog is fully built out. So we post a blog article every day,
Hmm.
and we can search by subject, or we can search by, and this will bring up all the different Alzheimer's blogs that we've done.
Hmm.
We have explainer videos on here, and there's a tremendous amount on here. On the bottom of this, And I'll go back one. Go back to. You can see that we're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to start a contest, and we're going to give away $100 a week to the best video that shows love, compassion, support, hope about caregiving.
Oh,
we're going to
wonderful.
post it on YouTube. We're going to post it on TikTok. And we hope to have an awful lot of people bringing in their videos and helping other people understand that caregiving is a very positive thing. And we write so much about people being hurt in caregiving because caregivers do have a very difficult road ahead for them because of isolation and because of so many other ways. But there's also pride in caregiving. Mm-hmm. And so the purpose of what we're doing is to balance it out and show the really good things and to be able to share the really helpful things that caregivers could share with each other.
Terrific. I love it. That's a great note to, as we wrap up. That's a great note to end on. What do you have? Is there anything else that is relevant to ExtendaTouch or that you want to add before we wrap up this conversation?
Yes. I'd like to thank. Yes. We originally built ExtendaTouch to bring on large groups of people. Mm-hmm. So we were talking to companies that had 60 and 70,000 employees. Now, because of COVID, we're bringing in people one at a time. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to invite everybody this month to come on and become a member of ExtendaTouch. Mm-hmm. Anybody who becomes a member of March will be known as a founding member. Mm-hmm. And don't worry if we're not full yet. We'll get full as more and more people come on.
Fantastic.
Chris, thank you so much. This is really, really helpful.
You're so welcome. Like, Care in Kind is all about supporting caregivers directly, and also anyone who's willing to advocate on behalf of caregivers and bring caregivers together and provide support themselves. So we're always happy to lend a helping hand whenever and wherever we can. And if you are watching this and you would like more information, the link is below the YouTube or Facebook video. Just click Get More Info, and the links are down there for ExtendaTouch and Andy's email. And I like that $100 video idea. I can't wait to see the results of those. That's going to be really fun.
I hope you make one. I hope you make one, Chris.
Maybe I will. I could use $100.
You'd be great at it.
All right. Well, Andy Cramer, founder of ExtendaTouch, thank you so much for joining us here on Care in Kind Live, recorded.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. And thank you, everyone. For more information, go to careandkindnyc.org. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.